Okay, my name is Patrick. First of all, I want to thank you to be there. It was a kind of joke during those 2 days how many people will be there the last session after the lunch. So thank you very much. Last things also, thank you to Lucene Imagination to open the door to a presentation of Vanilla. And we had 2 beautiful days all together. I really enjoyed most of the session. This is the last one, so I hope you will leave this room with nice impressions of the last session, okay? Because the last we keep in your mind. So my name is Patrick. I'm leading the Vanilla project. I've got 25 slides. Don't hesitate to stop me if I go too fast. And I'm going to show you how we use first Lucene and how we move from Lucene to Solr Lucene. That's all, using the Vanilla BI platform. So the agenda is very simple. First, I will show you how we use Lucene to power Vanilla. Second, what was the step technically to move from Lucene to Solr Lucene, and what are the benefits of this? Maybe some of you have started to use Lucene, just taking the API, put it in an application, okay? And after, when your application is leaving, you want to move to a larger infrastructure. This is exactly what happened to Vanilla project. Okay. So just 2 slides to tell you what is Vanilla before going. During the discussion, they told me, don't be too technical, don't be too much product pitchy. I just come from France, so you suffer from my French accent. Just give me 2 slides to introduce you Vanilla. It's my unique chance to do this, okay? So this is some Vanilla features. You have maps, you have cubes, you have KPI, you have report, and you have some Vanilla interfaces with iPhone and Android, okay? Globally, it's a BI platform, and we added some document management and others. The subject with Vanilla was really simple. When you do a report, you want to store a report and you want to provide a search engine on your report. This was our basic introduction with Lucene. So this is some Vanilla features. And now with Vanilla, you have report, OLAP, dashboards, many things. We have also ETL, workflow, and document management. Okay, I will show you at the end how we use the document management features to bundle it with the search engine on top of Lucene. Okay. So why Lucene? First of all, when we produce reports, we don't want people to print report to look for any information. So suppose you have a list of customer, list of product, every month you produce something, and at what time you need to look for any information somewhere, okay? So in usual BI platform or others, if you don't have a search engine on your report, how can you find your information? What you do is you print another report, so you bring an additional document. Okay, so it's difficult. So really the first thing was, one customer told us, how can we do this so that I don't have to bring my report and I can look, for example, for a product code to see all the product, all the report that contain this product code. So we asked to my team, and within 2 weeks or 3 weeks, they just have a look at what is available. They found Apache Lucene, and in 2010, we embedded Apache Lucene in Vanilla version 3. And believe me, we do it. We don't promote it because it's something technical. My team did it. They were not proud that much to do it. They do it. It's a technical job. They are happy. It's running, stable. Okay, let's go to another subject. And we provide these features to everybody. Okay. So this was for our report. Another thing, we have a document management solution. So you can add into Vanilla PDF, you can add text, you can have a document file, doc file, Microsoft Office, and all those files, you need also some index, some search. So more and more with Vanilla, with those 2 kind of features, okay, the report generation and external document, we add a lot and a lot of information into the Vanilla database, okay, and the Lucene index was starting to suffer. Let's be clear on this. It was an embedded Lucene, so performance was going down more and more. Okay. So for what we had to save the performance is that on each report within Vanilla, you can choose whether or not you want to index your document, you want to index it real time or not. We'll explain you again. Maybe you have a report every day about your stock configuration or your daily sales, and you don't need to index this document. So you just said you don't send it to Lucene. Another document that maybe you produce every week or every month, you want to index it, but you don't need real-time indexation. There was another session this afternoon, discussion about real-time. I mean, we need real-time indexation or information if we want to take real-time decision. It's right for bank or for others, but in stock management or in most of the company, if you have your result by the end of the day or the end of the week, it's enough. Okay. So we have within Vanilla, and it's there, you can choose on each document if it's indexed real-time or not. If it's not, we have a batch. Okay. It's very easy. We have two modules in Vanilla to manage indexation strategy. One module called Enterprise Service, where we set yes or not, real-time or not, and another one called Norparena, where we can manage batch indexation. Again, even if it's open source, and one of my partners from Philippines is there in the room, we try to save all the command line functions. Sorry, I'm coming from BI, I'm not coming from open source. You will see there is some command line print screen. It does not come from me, it comes from my team. For me, an application, there is a visual interface. It's not something with command line. So we try to make something that is, I will not say easy to use. I will say more friendly to use than command line. People who use command line, they like it. Okay, we saw it during 2 days. There is a lot of bash file and others. It's really easy to use for those who know. Those who don't know, it's difficult. Huh? Okay, and I think the next challenge for Lucene or other software is to make the newbie, to give it more easy for newbie people. Okay, because those who knows always know, but not the others. We have a search interfaces into Vanilla, so it was also one of the subjects we covered during 2 days. It's nice to have a search engine, but you need also a search interfaces. So with Vanilla, and I will show it, it was more the strategy we found in Google, just a simple line. You type what you are looking for, and it displays a result. There was big discussion about this, okay? And during those 2 days, we had some private discussion with some people. We have all different strategy. What is the final interfaces that you provide to your user? Okay. Do you have to drill from one search interface to another one? Do you provide this kind of interface? There's no truth. Okay, so you have to test. Look between Yahoo and Google. Look at the two search interfaces. Okay, you have black and white. Okay. So search is available from the Vanilla portal. We search against the Lucene index inside Vanilla because it was an embedded Lucene. And search result is combined with security of documents, which means when you run a search, you get a list of documents, reports, but maybe some reports that are generated in PDF, you don't have access to the document. So the search tells you this document is there, it contains your keyword, but you can't open it. Starting this, I will show it to you with Vanilla later. You can request a grant access to the document. And even on these simple things, there was discussion inside. Do we have to show a document that contains a keyword and you don't have access to the document? Or do we have to hide the document? So really, when I'm talking with you about this, it's really business case about what we discuss with customer And I hide all the technology. Okay? Lucene is perfect. We are all here to tell this. Okay? Lucene does what it should do. And now, myself with Vanilla and my team, we try to work on the user interfaces and integration. Okay, so search result, you have different strategy. External document is exactly the same. Okay, so you can add different properties. You can have a check-in, check-out, because your Word document can have new versions on something. For your internal report, we use BERT, for those who knows. It's not check-in, check-out, it's a new version of the report. If every month you run the report, you have a new version. Okay? And search, we decided to run the search on the latest version of the document. And now we have questions from customers who ask us, can you compare two versions of one document and tell me, for example, if one keyword was in the latest version and not in the previous version? So we have new questions, and until now, it's in the last slide, we don't have yet the real answer to this. How will we do this? Evolution and constraint, about what we had 2 years ago. No clustering. I'm talking about Lucene. Okay? With Vanilla, we provide report clustering, ETL clustering, but for the search, it was just an internal process. It's there, we have no control on this process. We run it, it's running good, but that's all. Limitation also in language and keywords. Those who knows little about Lucene knows that Lucene languages is smaller than Solr languages. Okay, so moving to Solr will give us additional keywords and additional method to look for informations. There was no cache also. And with Vanilla, we use memcache. So it was also something difficult. Another thing, and with those three things, I mean, during 1 year and something, it was okay. It was limitation, but it's running. But we decided to move to something else based on the second things. Some customers started to have Solr Lucene. And they said, why you have Lucene and we have Solr Lucene? Why should I have two indexes? I can't cross my information, I can't cross my search. It starts to be difficult. It's more or less the same API, it's more or less the same technology, maybe not the same versions. Can you please try to do something to be compliant with our architecture? Okay. So all those things was the situation until last year. I will show you a presentation of how it runs before. Oops. You will see the interfaces. So it's just an external document. We add an external document in the repository. So there is, the name is called index Lucene. You take the document. We apply some security on the document. It's just a demo. Huh? And you can see some code. The code is white. It's internal code. Maybe you don't see it very good. But. And after, you can run a search, either on something, the title of the document, the content of the document, and you got it. So we try to do something like Google. Everybody understands. Okay, it's very easy to use. Okay, and each time we run a search, we have internal. So there it's a vanilla internal log. Okay, so this is a situation with an internal embedded Lucene. So we decided, end of 2011, to move to Solr Lucene. Okay. I don't know if it was a 3.4 or 3.5 versions. I know it was not a 3.6. After looking, we found it natural to move from Lucene to Solr Lucene, and it was quite easy. What we try to do is, talking about indexation, we took the vanilla index, we move it into a Solr Lucene external platform, and everything is okay. You can take your vanilla index and move it into Lucene. Okay? We try to do the opposite. Take an index Lucene and put it into vanilla, it failed. We did not look why, because there was no interest at all. Okay? But taking our embedded indexed externally was a solution. So directly from one day to another one, we can have a batch file that every day takes the Solr Lucene from vanilla and put it in an external Solr Lucene application. And it's running pretty well, no problems. Okay. So about indexations, it can be written. About storage, this means that all the vanilla index can be searched through an external search engine, like I will tell it, the technical search engine provided by Solr Lucene. Okay, you know this interface that looks like Tomcat? It's very technical. Okay, so you can use this one, no problem. And you can embed it into your portal. It's very easy. Another information, the search language is compliant. Maybe there was a risk about this, that we have to rewrite all our API on this, that when we generate some search or some storage information. It was possible. We decided first to test the embedded Solr Lucene platform. For those who knows this, you've got Lucene, and for Solr, you've got two versions of Solr Lucene. You've got one version that you can embed into your application, and another one that runs as an external platform. Okay, so we took the embedded one and just replace it. We use one API, and immediately it runs. When I said immediately, it's within 1 day. I will not say 1 hour, but maybe it's 1 hour. It's really nothing, okay? And I don't do it. My team is doing this. It's perfect. So with this, immediately, you don't have cache. You don't have all those things, but you take all the advantage of the new keywords, of the Solr keywords strategy. And also, before going to large Solr Lucene architecture, you can test something. Like, for example, using a binary result set or a JSON result set instead of the XML one. Okay, so without any new infrastructure on your single server, you just switch from Lucene to Solr Lucene and it works. So it was a potential upgrade to Solr Lucene. So this is, for those who knows little this, it's a log only with vanilla, and there, sorry, nobody can read it, even me. All that is read when you run a new search or something, it comes from embedded Lucene, from the vanilla Tomcat, again. So a demo on this, it's very easy. So it's the same thing, you take the same file. There is information there. Same the security. And I think there's nothing. It runs the indexation, and you've got some line. And after, you can run your search. So I mean, the index process and the search process are exactly the same. Okay? Because it runs exactly the same. So except if I don't show you the log file, I mean only the color, just focus on the color, it's exactly the same interfaces. Okay, so perfect. And thanks to the Solr development teams, it's not painful. Because you know developer, if it's painful, either it's tricky and they want to find the solution, or they said, it's too complicated, we don't want it. So the next step now, to answer to our customer needs, was to move to a Solr Lucene external platform. Sorry, I didn't draw about this, but you know it's like two servers. Okay. And for this, we had something to modify into vanilla. It was the API. When we first developed the Lucene integrations, we did three things in one API, which was indexation, storage of documents, and search abstraction layer. If you want to go to an external things, you have to remove the storage from this. Because Lucene don't take care about storage, about this. Okay, you can delegate. We use, for the storage, we store it somewhere else. So we just had to change this API. It was not that painful. It was 10 man days globally. It was also a good way for us to review some code. You know how it works, okay? And to add new features, to review some method to store the information. Taking out the storage now make vanilla available and compliant to store the document into an external CMS. Okay, it's also something important for us because before the search engine and the storage of document was inside vanilla. Now you can use vanilla to create your report, store it somewhere, and use another search engine to run your search. So let's say it's more scalable. I saw many presentations about scalability, cloud, and others. In this presentation, there's nothing about cloud and Hadoop, but it's real life, okay? Let's say it's scalable and it's cloud compliant, not yet Hadoop. Okay. So indexation and search engine, we have to rewrite this API, okay, to make it better compliant with Solr Lucene external platform. Some example of code before, we use direct API. Okay, we parse the content Apache using TK. I heard about TK and only bad word about TK during 2 days. Sorry, we use this. Okay, it was running on embedded, no problems. And we generate some Lucene query and code after. Be cool with me, don't ask me about this. I'm not a developer. So ask my friends. Yeah, it's better. This is how we move the code. Okay. I'm not in position to tell you if it's good or not. I will tell you it's running pretty well. Okay, and we are happy with the results. And now, when you run, you create your document, you can use the Solr platform, and you can see the result like this. So I see some people telling yes, yes, so you have met this already when it's into Solr. So if you meet it, you will see now the first video. Oops. External, this is this one. I liked yesterday's presentation about Solr in Lucene. He was more courageous than me. He connect into a Japanese server. For me, I just put video. It's better. Okay, no internet problems. So always the same example. Except that now when you run the search, maybe you will find better code. Okay. So the code is there. And after, I think we will use the Solr one. Look for exactly the same keyword. And we find it. Because it's exactly the same thing. Which means that when we process the index and storage and first part from vanilla, we store it into an external Lucene, Solr Lucene platform. Okay? So what's the situation now? I mean, if we address one or two issues at the end of the operation, let's say after 1 big month, we have to review if we solve our problems. First problems that we solve, we put all the Lucene outside of Vanilla. Okay? It's not like a disease. We are happy with it inside Vanilla, but outside it's also nice. And it gave us a kind of clustering search architecture compliancy. Okay? So search engine clustering can be implemented using Carrot. We talked about this in the previous things, but now it's more lucid imagination stuff. It's no more vanilla stuff. I'm a provider of a BI platform. I'm not the provider of a search engine platform. Okay. So if I have one of my customer who want to cluster everything, now I'm able to come back to lucid imagination and talk to those guys. Can we work together on this? I clustered my report. I clustered my ETL. Now I've got a lot of documents, and my customer want to cluster his search architecture. Now it's possible. Second thing, we have additional query languages. Okay. We have a real data schema, with type numeric, dynamic flick, unique key, all those things that we don't have natively into Lucene. Okay. We have some query extensions for the languages, new phase search and filtering, all those things that you know for those who know Solr Lucene. We can have geospatial search. We don't implement it yet into Vanilla, okay? And we have an advanced configurable text analysis. Third things, we have new method to manage the result set. You can choose, okay, with this API. Either you get your result into XML, JSON, or binary over HTTP or not. So it's very convenient. If you have a lot, if your result set is very large, maybe it's better to send it into binary or others. Okay. So with this now you have the choice. And we take care of advanced full search test capability and other things. Fourth thing, we have a cache mechanism. And the cache mechanism is exactly the same that we use into Vanilla. And to be cloud ready, because it's very fashion, it's the same cache, it's Memcache. Okay, so it's very easy because the beauty of open source also is taking the best component available, and those best components are used in the, let's say, the best open source platform. Okay, I heard in another one session that they are using Zookeeper. To cluster our Vanilla, we use Zookeeper. Because my developer, they know it, they like it, and it's very convenient to do some provisioning on others. So and everybody will read it and understand it immediately. This is really important. Okay. So now we have free cache implementation for your index. Okay, but this is completely outside of Vanilla. Again, now the search infrastructure is no more for us, I will not say a problem, but it's no more a subject. We can deploy a Vanilla server, a search server, or we can return to the embedded one if they want. It's no problem. It's in the configuration file. It's easy. Do you have a search engine? Do you have already Lucene? Okay, we configure. You don't have, we start with the embedded one, Solr embedded one, no more the Lucene one, okay? And if you want to move, we install another server, we transfer the indexes, because we test before and the indexes is compliant. So now I can start with one server, and it's very easy for me to move to something more scalable, let's say. Next step for us, an upgrade to Solr 4 when it's available. To be honest with you, I don't know why, but there's many things. I would say there is one thing. We are in Solr 3.5, 3.4, 3.5, I don't remember. There is something important, it's moving to 3.6. Because 3.6, you've got internationalization, Japan, for example. And for us, it's very important. I'm working in the Asian region. So Vanilla is all compliant with, this is Thai interfaces, this is Hindi interfaces, okay? and the report can be also like this. So for me, it's really important to have a search engine that is more than Western character compliant. Okay, and this is something we are waiting for. So an upgrade to Solr 4, 3.6 or 4 for us will be something we will do during the summertime. We'll add some new features for document cycle management because we have a lot of questions and requests from customers about this. Okay, like as I told before, can we compare two versions of a document to look for specific keywords in different documents without having access to the document or not? All those things we have to review. And also we want to work on a roadmap for better internationalization. Vanilla now is available in 10 languages, not Japanese. There's many Japanese people here. It's like a call, huh? It's 3 hours work. And we need to work on search translation management. If we have documents stored in your index that are in Chinese, Japanese, English, French, I like to look for a keyword like tables. But I want all the documents that contain tables, not the tables Western document. I want also these word tables to be translated into Chinese and Japanese and have also the result. It's important for, even if I'm not able to read Thai or Chinese, I'd like to know how many documents I have on this. And what was nice during those 2 days is that I saw a company that is doing this, but they are not open source. So there are still areas to improve on this subject. And I think that if you want to deploy widely your application, you have to provide this kind of search translation. And we had this discussion yesterday about the approach of, okay, you move now Solr Lucene to be Japanese compliant. How can we replicate this in other languages? Okay. The job on Japanese is really great. If you move, for example, to Thai, you have 4 levels for your letter. In Western languages, we have 3 levels. You know, you have the letter, or something, an accent and an accent, but in Thai it's 4. So how can we address this? The 4th level change the configuration and the meaning of your letters, so the meaning of your word. Okay. So all those things is really interesting job to talk about. Okay, and this is maybe not maybe this is part of the things we want to work now that we move Lucene outside of our vanilla, and we use Solr Lucene just a part. Okay. Before it was not possible. All the documentation are available on our website. We have VBox, VirtualBox, some VMware. We are on Amazon EC2, yes, the Amazon the cloud. And you can test it, and you can ask me any question about this. Okay. Do you have question? Yes. Do we? Yes. How do we deal with metadata reading the document? Okay. The approach is different. First of all, the word metadata has different meanings in BI and in document management or search. Okay. In document management or search technology, the metadata is more like a dictionary of all the keywords that you want to manage. In BI, metadata is an abstraction layer that comes on top of the database. We use, so how do we generate the metadata for Lucene? We have 2 different approaches. You can either use some specific request against your database, for example, your product code, to take something very easy to understand. You take all your product code, you take a select star on this, and you use the result set to give it to your metadata. This is the first thing. after, you can also manually add some keywords to look in the metadata. So this is a two-way we load the Lucene metadata. Does this answer your question? So the question is, do we index report? I mean, Vanilla first, before adding some document management features, Vanilla is a BI platform. So BI platform, first interest of BI platform is to generate reports. If you generate tons of reports, 100 reports or something, and we store the version of each report, you have also to provide a way for your end user to be able to browse all your reports. Let's say again, same example, I'm looking for a product code. Okay? My product code, I've got a problem with one supplier, I've got a problem with a product, I'm running out of stock. What are all the reports that talk about this report, that contain this report, this product code? So if you have a global product document management or report repository, we just wanted first to provide a method to allow user to look for keywords in report. It was our first objective. Okay. That's really basic. Huh? How do you do today? You have thousands of reports, and you don't know where to find your information. Maybe some users, they are not allowed to run the report. Let's come back on vocabulary. Running the report can be refreshing the report. Maybe the report is running monthly, and they can just have access to the report. And maybe they have 10 reports, and within 5 seconds, they just type a keyword, and they get all the reports that deal with the keyword. It was the first objective. 2 years ago. Huh? So when we answer in the paper, for us, it's between 1 and 3 years that we are using Lucene without any problems. It's running pretty well. Other question? Just on time. Thank you very much again. Thanks to Lucene Imagination. Thank you, Paul.